Now, this is the very first trade agreement that the UK has signed since Brexit. And of course, it moves the UK away from Europe to a certain extent and towards the faster growing Asia Pacific region. This is the first area. It could even be that the UK comes in the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which links up even more of these Trans-Pacific nations. Is this a part of the reason why the UK was so keen to do this deal with Australia?
Yes, this is part of our integrated review. Indeed, the moment the British people voted to leave the European Union, it set the trajectory that we now see ourselves on. And this part of the world, the Indo-Pacific, is going to be the economic powerhouse of this century. So we must lean into it, which is exactly what we're doing. And where better to begin than with one of our oldest friends and partners, Australia. And you're absolutely right. We see this as a way forward to joining the CPTPP.
Well, it is since 1973 that we were both in a trading bloc, of course. The UK then went to the European Union, but back now. But remembering also that Britain is Australia's 8th largest trading partner, but Australia is only the 20th largest trading partner to the UK. I presume that might change as this free trade agreement comes to reality, as more agricultural products go from Australia into the UK? Or is it simply a case that Australia is going to see more cars, more Scotch whisky, more confectionery, more pharmaceuticals coming this way as well?
Sorry, Ross, you were dropping in and out there, but I think I got the gist of what you were saying to me. I think this is a win-win for both sides. It is about economic growth and jobs. And obviously for our consumers, I think this is where the great benefit will come from: greater choice and lower costs, particularly as we move towards the tariff-free elements that are enshrined in the agreement in principle, as we nut that out and finalise the detail into the full-blown free trade agreement. So you're right, the opportunity for Australian farmers, for example, back into the UK market. If you take your lamb meat industry, currently it can face up to 80% tariffs on Australian lamb going into the UK. And you have a similar picture on your beef, where there are, again, tariffs and quota limits. Our ambition over a 10 to 15-year phasing period is to see those tariffs come right down. So that's good for the British consumer, and it will also give greater competition against European meat that currently comes in to the United Kingdom. And for Australian consumers, if we see the removal of 5% tariff on things like ceramics, all our wonderful tableware that comes into this country, 5% tariffs on vehicles of all descriptions, confectionery items, that's a better price for Australian consumers. It is a win-win for both sides. But I think, as your Prime Minister said, this is a foundational agreement. It reminds us of so many more things that we are doing together that will now be re-energised and flow out of this free trade agreement. Whether it's our science and research arrangements that we have, how we deepen and further that. For both our countries, we know the agenda for the future is to be at the forefront of technology and innovation. And here we have huge scope, not just in how we do that together, but the commercialisation of technology and innovation between our two countries.
Because one of the things, and I was just speaking with the Treasurer, Josh Frydenberg, about this, is the superannuation industry. And of course, the UK is noted not only for its legal services, its funds management and administration which take place. And Australia has one of the biggest compulsory superannuation or pension systems in the world. So, you know, it is again this area that is seen to be one of the areas that there could be a significant exchange of ideas and businesses. And in many ways, the professional services area may be just as lucrative as those immediate ideas of trade concepts, agriculture, wine, whatever it might be, that these will also be very important for this deal.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the potential of what lies ahead that is just so exciting. And, you know, with old friends who understand each other so well, Can you just imagine what the opportunities for both our countries are working together? We are the third largest services partner for Australia already. Actually, we should be gunning for second place, if not first. That's the level of ambition that we have. And we are the second largest investor, as your Treasurer acknowledged earlier when you spoke to him. We have something like $70 billion of investment in Australia, and I see those two-way investment flows increasing just as much as we look at the increase in trade and services. And technology these days is also about agri-tech. I had the great pleasure of meeting the folk from JCB Agricultural Machinery here, who are developing amazing new electric and hydrogen technology that will fuel their machinery in the future. And with drought, more extreme weather too, we're seeing those opportunities for our two industries work far more closely together. Last week, I briefly saw Fiona Simpson of your National Farmers Federation, and she told me she's already talking to her counterpart in the UK on the potential of a partnership beyond what we sell to each other. It's what we invest in each other and how we develop technology together too.
I tell you what, good to have you on the program today. We'll do it again at some stage in the future and look for some of those opportunities that may emerge from this agreement. The UK High Commissioner to Australia, Victoria Treadell, many thanks for your time today.
Thank you very much. We look forward to growing our international business together. And can I just very briefly also say, this is about how we work together on the global trading system. It is so important that we get things right, how we work at the WTO and beyond.
Indeed, that's a very good point as well, given that China and, of course, many of those issues that will go to the World Trade Organisation. Many thanks for your time.